Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to 20 Sites Every Story. We are getting started here this morning with Dolmenwood. We're doing our actual play of Dolmenwood using the old school Essentials game system. If this is your first time joining us, we do invite you to come and hang out with us when we're not streaming over on our Discord server. The link to that is in the chat, or if you are watching this on YouTube or listening to this wherever you get your podcasts, just check the description of the video or podcast that you're listening to, and there should be a link in there that will bring you directly into our Discord server. It's a great place to come hang out and chat about tabletop games, and even a great place to potentially find games for yourself to play in. We have an LFG channel that very often has some things that are getting posted that either are being streamed on our channel or just happening offline. And right now, I don't know if there's anything that's open right there, but I know in the new year we will be recruiting for more games. So definitely come and check us out over in Discord. Um, the other thing that I should plug at the start of the show here is that we also have a Patreon. So if you are interested in supporting us, that is a great way to do so. Even if you can only give like $1 or $2 a month, that goes a long way towards supporting everything that we do here on the channel. And the big perk for people that like Dolmenwood now is that via the traditional podcast, I only update that with like one episode per month. But if you join the Patreon, you can get the episodes pretty much probably within the week that we play. So there's a lot more content there. So if you're all caught up with Dolmenwood and you're eager to see where the story goes and you like listening to it via the podcast, check out the Patreon page and support that. I'm Alex. I'm going to be the game master for this game this morning, and I am joined by, we got a full crew here today, which is great. We got Dawson playing Topsy, the Grimalkin, Issac playing Friar Stephen Fitzpatrick, the Friar, Moreen playing Lillibeth the Hunter, Ryan playing Sir Geoffrey the Knight, and Chris playing Thomas the Minstrel. Our game is going to pick up on the 12th of Reed Rhyme in the early months of autumn. And I guess as a recap to where we are starting play this morning is that the characters had gone to this village to try to rid it of a curse that was placed on it, a little village by the name of Langston. And they had completed their task and had taken care to try to put the dead to rest and give some semblance of respect and reverence to the people that had died here so long ago, when something very unexpected happened, and they saw a little breggle child, a half-breggle child, who fit the description of a missing boy that one of the longhorn goat folk, the breggle nobility, are kind of squabbling over. The story goes that Lord Malbleet had this half-breggle child named Billy who had gone missing and had ended up getting sheltered by his grandfather in Lankshorn. All these are details that the characters have over the course of play discovered and learned. But a number of sessions ago, they had put a foot in the land of fairy and had been gone for a significant amount of time. By the time they returned back to the mortal plane, by the time they got back, they learned that that child had gone missing. And there was a lot of accusations that had been thrown about that Lord Malbleet, the boy's father, had made an accusation that Lord Ramius, one of the other Longhorn goat folk, had abducted him or was somehow responsible for the boy's disappearance, and this was creating a schism, political tension that the Longhorn goat folk might go. There might be some bloodshed as a result. So there's a bit of political tension that surrounds this whole thing, and so the characters saw the boy, and I think probably more out of concern for the boy's livelihood than the bigger political questions at stake, decided to go after him, and it led them to discovering that deep within the woods here there are two ogre witches that had captured him. They found the boy hidden uh, uh, imprisoned within this little wooden cage. And there's all sorts of strange phenomenon that have been surrounding this. These sort of apparitions, these illusions have been wandering around. A couple of the characters had run afoul of what looked like Lord Malbleet, but they have since determined that that figure that they saw was really just a manifestation, maybe, of the psyche of the little boy who was sound asleep in the cage when they came upon these two ogre witches who were brewing some kind of foul mixture in a big cauldron. Um, and their camp rested right in the midst of this huge redwood tree that had been felled, and where the roots were up, had ripped up out of the ground. There was sort of a crater or a crevice there that went deeper into the earth. And when the characters basically had kind of camped out there and just were spying, kind of observing what was going on in this little area, and they saw that some shorthorn breggles had brought in a captive. It would seem that there's like a number of shorthorns that are maybe under the influence or mind control of the ogre witches, because they had brought a captive into the camp who it seemed like they were bringing down into that crevice for some unknown purpose or reason. And they never saw him emerge, but they heard them say that the captain will hear of this. I think you got the sense maybe that all of these shorthorns knew each other, or at least the one that was being brought in as a captive seemed like he knew the others and was sort of saying the captain will learn about this almost as a punitive thing, but to no avail because of their condition. And so that little piece of dialogue has led the characters to think this task might be bigger than them and they could use some reinforcements. And so if they could find whoever this captain is, maybe there's some help that might come their way. In other news, I think you're down to one hireling at this point. I think it's only
Yes.
Kezi that's with you, because originally you were trying to set up something of a distraction using Chag, but he never returned to your group, so his status is kind of MIA. So, anyways, you made camp. Maybe the one true God is looking after you, because nothing disturbed your rest. Although, as you're coming to this morning, you're probably waking up a little bit waterlogged because there is a heavy rain that is dampening everything, and it's a steady amount of moisture. It's enough that the visibility, there's almost kind of like a fog or a steam that is rising up, and it is, it's an autumn chill, so it is very, very cold and uncomfortable. And you have no real clear idea of where you're headed, only maybe a vague sense of those shorthorns that came into that camp did come in from the western side of the clearing. So you might have a vague idea of west might be the way to go. And so that is where we are picking up. You all are kind of packing up your stuff, and maybe having some early conversation as you're getting ready to head out in a direction. Is there anything immediately that anybody wishes to do?
Oh, it's so cold out here, and I don't want to be wandering around in circles. Maybe there's something close to camp that I can find in terms of maybe some indication of where a large group of military people might have passed by.
Sounds good. So you want to spend some time this morning looking for some tracks.
Yes, I do.
How about the rest of you?
Well, I mean, breakfast has got to be in due order at some point. Maybe somewhere in this nasty, disgusting groundwater that's permeating the area, there may or may not be rats, rodents of any kinds swimming about. Anything?
Looking for tracks, looking for rats, other things. Anything? Okay, Friar?
I'll be doing a quick prayer. Just my little morning prayers that I do.
I think Geoffrey, probably given what's happened in the past and what he's experienced when the group kind of splits up, I'll probably, give Lillibeth her space, but kind of keep an eye on her, make sure nothing gets to jump on her if there's danger about.
Sounds good.
And I would be kind of, under the circumstances, I'm kind of figuring that we're going to be doing some fighting today. So I'm going to make sure that, weapons are sharpened, armor is set. And kind of while I'm doing that, I will tell some, I suppose, humorous tale of, something to at least kind of take people's mind off of the cold and wet that they're currently dealing with.
Sounds good. Just a quick comment to make Lyra's life easier. I think I heard like a TV somewhere, so if you got some background noise, just mute whenever you're not talking.
Moreen?
I don't have anything on in the background.
Or it might have been conversation. I don't know what it was, but
okay, I will do that.
Awesome. So this will account for the next 10 minutes. So Lillibeth is looking for some tracks. You could go ahead and do your skill for that.
And unfortunately, I rolled a 100.
100. Okay. Yeah. You don't find anything in the next 10 minutes. And it's not really because of the fact that it's raining. And of course, there is a bit of puddling and things like that is happening. But you just don't get the sense that there has been any such movement in the area. Let's see. Topsy.
Yeah.
Moment.
Able to find a squirrel, which for your purposes I think will suffice.
This is the closest thing I've gotten to in over a month.
It's a tree rat, but
yeah.
It doesn't matter. Any sort of gigantic rodent of any variety is good for anything. This is a start.
Easy enough for you to run after it, grab it, and feast upon it. And so a little snack is secured. Friar prepares the prayer, Thomas sharpening weapons, and Sir Geoffrey kind of keeping watch over the others and just feeling a sense of unease that at any moment you could be discovered. But for the next 10 minutes, no such evidence of detection is found.
Should we try to double back and try to follow, see if there's some tracks from where the Shorthorns brought them in and see if we can, before the rain washes everything out, if we could follow that trail, perhaps to the captain?
I would agree that
Hmm.
that assessment.
Could maybe I ask the our hireling hunter to help as well?
You can. You'll have to move a little bit because
Okay.
a tracking check has already happened in this area, and just for the purpose of these checks and things like that, like if there's a duplicate check, like a lot of times I'm just gonna, like, you get one and use the best person's talent for that thing. Um, so if you want
Well, I think
to
we
spend, the next hour or something moving and trying to get to a different location where you might be able to pick up on those tracks, you could certainly do that.
right, because we camped a little bit off like away, right, so we wouldn't be detected. So I think if we cautiously move towards the path that they came in on, but keeping in the wooded and guarded as much as possible, that might be the best way to go about it.
Yeah.
Well, and those shorthorns were. I mean, they were. How long were they gone? They were only gone a couple hours before they brought that guy back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, a few hours, maybe 3 hours tops. So
So we
wherever
have,
they
yeah,
went would be within an hour and 15 minutes walking distance.
radius, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we could take a guess, right, an educated guess as to where we should be searching.
Yeah.
In my mind's eye, you guys camped over on, like, kind of the eastern side of where the clearing would have been. So, I think like an hour makes sense if you were to circumvent and give yourself a large berth from being near that clearing, and you wanted to kind of navigate around it and get to the other side where you might be able to pick up the tracks.
Mhm.
It's thick foliage and everything like that. So a lot of snapping, like you would want to get pretty far away from the clearing while you're moving, because it's pretty much impossible to stealth with
Yeah,
a group your size. So,
we're
sounds
gonna
like
have
that
we're
is sort of
clicking
the
through the
idea
brush
here.
essentially, right?
Yeah, yep. And so you'll start to make your way over in that direction. We'll have Kezi do a roll. Moreen, what is your percent chance of
Yep. What?
tracking?
60.
60. Okay. Unfortunately, she's not able to pick up on any tracks over in this. Like you're on the opposite side of the clearing, and you've sort of done a little patrol over in that area, trying to pick up on the tracks, and you just aren't finding anything that's a clear indication.
Either way,
Yeah,
go ahead. We might need to move west.
I think if we continually move, knowing what the possible radius could be of their travel within those areas, and just continually, tracks are not. If we try to stick within that area, I think eventually, hopefully, we should find them, unless they've moved or something.
Well, eventually we'll come across some evidence of them. They can't be here and not leave something behind. Otherwise, we're too far away from them no matter what. So, but I agree. West seems to be where we need to go.
I would also make the suggestion that once we get far enough away from these ogre hags, perhaps we can begin making noise, and rather than us finding them, they find us.
So will
Seems to me
everything
like we
else.
are making noise. It sounded like Alex was saying we have no choice but to make some noise.
I pull out my flute and say,
Ah,
I can make a lot more noise than the snapping of twigs.
this is true.
Well, it is a bold gambit. Might as well go ahead and see what happened.
All right. So it's about like 9 a.m. or so in your morning, and you're continuing to do your best to navigate in a westward direction. Give me a little bit of a description of like your formation as you all move. Like, do you have somebody that is your point person that is leading the pack? Are there some of you that are hanging behind?
I would be hanging more behind in this sort of situation. I'd much rather use my ranged weapon and far sight than try and take on anything that might come crashing out of the bushes.
I would probably make the suggestion that the rest of us kind of at least buddy up. Geoffrey, you with one, and myself, perhaps, you and your brother, and myself, and our Topsy, and just to be able to
Would you
handle
want
anything, and then have the other huntress up front.
so maybe Kezi and Geoffrey are up front?
That's what I'm thinking, and maybe put the Friar and Lillibeth in the back.
Cool.
Sounds reasonable.
All right. So as you are moving along here, Geoffrey and Kezi,
Yes.
you are moving through the underbrush of the forest, sopping wet. Like as you're clawing your way through the forest here, every minute that passes is a minute that you're not in front of a warm fire, and you're starting to feel that. It's only been about an hour or so since you set out, but suddenly your world maybe gets a little worse. I need for you. I just have to determine what it is. Give me a. Let's just use like the breath weapon save. Like make that saving throw.
Okay.
You want to roll above.
Breath weapon is 15. I rolled a 5. Do we have any rerolls?
There are
No.
no rerolls. So, for the perspective of everybody that's following you, the two of them just like all of a sudden it almost feels like they just stop in their tracks and are kind of struggling against something. And for Geoffrey and Kezi, like you're feeling that you just walked into like this really thick substance. And you can see this silky tapestry that is stretched out between these two trees that you were trying to cut through. And like as you like stepped forward, like you still have like one of your boots is still planted in the earth, but like the other is suspended and you can't get it loose to unrestrain yourself from this web.
Can I take a turn to attempt to like break free or of it?
Roll me a d6 just to see how snappy you are with your reflexes after this happens.
5.
5.
Pretty snappy.
Yeah, you're not surprised. You look as you're struggling and you look up, you can see these red eyes staring down at you from these bulbous bodies attached to them, 8 spindly legs that are crawling down out of the trees.
Friends!
Spindly spiders too, not hairy ones.
Not hairy.
Those are the worst.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's
Just
not
one?
it's not woolly. I'm rolling to see how many right now. Oops.
Dice be with us.
There are 2. 2 of them.
Okay.
So, who would like to be the caller for this encounter?
Geoffrey.
Oh Lord. Okay, hang on. Let me get a better set of dice here.
Better set of
And
dice.
while you're looking for your dice, Jeff just redeemed a player reroll, so you got a little
Thank
something in the
you.
tank there.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Jeff.
They are big in Dolmenwood. Player rerolls are like gold.
Yes.
All right, I got my full size dice out. Let's. All right.
Break out of your Captain Morgan pose here and do some
So,
work.
any spell casting?
No.
All right. Go ahead and roll it up.
Okay, we're rolling a d20, right?
D6.
D6. Okay, here we go. A 3.
Okay, you guys go first.
Nice.
Okay.
All right, so first thing would be movement.
I am going to back up just a little bit. Don't need to be near spiders. That could eat cats. That'd be very bad.
Yeah, that would be bad. I'm drawing my weapons and moving forward to.
Be up by Geoffrey and Kezi. Right now, the spiders we'll say are like 15 feet overhead, and they're
Yeah.
starting to descend.
Here.
And
Oh,
I think, would I be able to? I'm gonna move up. I'm gonna move up. At least maybe like 5 feet away from the rest, from everyone else.
and I'm going to position myself for a shot.
Sounds good. So we got Lillibeth is in the back, still at range. Friar has moved up. Thomas has moved up. Where's Topsy?
Back in range.
Back in range. Okay. So let's go to ranged attacks. Let's start things off with Lillibeth.
12.
A 12 will miss. Are you adding a +1 for being in short range?
Yep.
Okay. Topsy.
Pulls out the big old crossbow. Gonna shoot it.
Oh,
13.
13 will hit.
2 massive crossbow bolt points of damage.
All right.
Nice.
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 All right. Let's go to melee.
Can I pull out? Can I light up a torch and
Yes.
start just swinging at them?
So they're 15 feet up.
Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna.
Like you're
I am
trying to be
trying to-
intimidating, kind of
Yeah.
stay away. Sounds good.
Those webs are flammable.
Any other melee actions?
Them 15 feet up, I would just kind of hold till they come down in range, I guess.
Sounds good.
Attack.
And I'm stuck, right?
And you're stuck. So you can start the process. So it's basically a timely thing based on your strength, how long it's going to take you to get out.
Okay.
So if you're struggling and such, like you're starting to try to rip away at the webbing and things like that, because he's doing the same, but you're not going to be able to get out just this round.
Gotcha.
And I'll have each of them. So it'll become their turn then. I'm gonna have each of them do. What's the Friar's charisma?
10.
10. Okay. I'm gonna have them do morale checks to see if they will move forward or not.
So lower charisma should mean you're scared.
Stay away, please.
One of them kind of holds its distance. The one that just got shot by
Mhm.
Topsy seems like is a little more hesitant to descend down, but the other is dropping down. It's either going to be Geoffrey or Kezi. It's going to be Geoffrey. It descends right down on top of Geoffrey and is going to try to bite.
Oh, beast.
A 13.
13. Where's my... No, it misses.
Misses. All right. Let's do another.
Right in the plate mail.
Yep. Luckily you have the plate mail, which is protecting you, but you've got this thing is like bigger than you are, right? Like it's terrifying to be stuck and have this huge insectoid or this arachnid closing in all around you while it's venom. You could see like the venom just kind of like dripping off of its mandibles.
Oh, Lord.
All right, another initiative roll.
Oh, boy. All right, here goes.
Big one.
You're so brave.
A 1.
So brave.
1.
I want to reroll that one. I don't know.
Do it yet, should we? Let's re-roll it.
Going for the reroll.
A 4.
4. All right, players go first.
Yes.
Anybody want to change their movement? All right.
I'm gonna move next to my brother. I'm gonna try to help him get out.
Sounds good. So there's one that's essentially it's possible to be in melee with, the one that's right on top of Geoffrey. The other is still 15 feet up. It has not dropped yet.
Okay.
Ranged attacks.
Okay, I'm going to focus on the one that Topsy hit. And it doesn't matter. It's 9.
I will also focus on the one that Topsy hit.
Sounds good.
Because, less problems the better. Is he going to roll? Maybe. There it is. 10!
10 will miss. And just a reminder, be sure you're tracking those arrows and such. It's not quite like 5e where you can recover arrows and things like that. Let's go to our melee people. So why don't we start with Friar?
Friar, is there a mechanic to help him get free faster if I help him?
There's no mechanics for anything. How are you helping him?
I'm using yeah, that's good. That's good. I'm using the torch to kind of burn away the webs to help my brother get free.
Okay. This seems to be working to dissolve away at the web. Maybe another round of doing this would actually be able to free both of them, because you're not just cutting away at one person. It's really like the entirety of the web is just disintegrating.
And hell, because there's no mechanics, I'm burning it and I'm trying to lick the spider while doing it. I don't think I'm gonna hit it, but I'm reminding it I got fire here.
Sounds good. Thomas.
AC 14
That'll hit.
Nice.
for 8 points.
8 points. That's a big one.
Whoa.
Yes. Big boy.
Yeah. I think that would have killed any one of us.
That could kill me 4 times over.
Exactly.
Geoffrey, remind me what your strength score is.
It is actually one of my lowest. It's 13.
Okay. Sounds good. So you're still stuck, but you can see that your brother is doing his damnedest to burn away at that web, and you're feeling like, it's starting to disintegrate. Like you get like an arm loose, like you're starting to come free. But
I
it
still have my
is
foot up though. Probably. I'm still Captain Morganing it.
yes. The spiders are going to go, so the other spider's going to drop down now. And so one of them will that same one. Well, the one that just got hit by Thomas, I think, is going to instinctually go to the threat. And one attack on Thomas. The other's going to drop down and try to hit the Friar while it's got an opening.
No.
We will do the one on Thomas first. Oh. 19 to hit.
Barely hits me.
All right. Oh my gosh.
Man.
No.
It's only 4 points of damage.
Okay, that's it. That's all we gotta know.
Yeah, that's
That's
it.
it. We don't need it. No,
We don't need to know the rest.
Please give me a
man.
save versus
What's that?
poison.
You're breaking up. You're breaking up.
I'll type it.
All right, let's see here. That is a 10 on the die, and my Constitution, I get +1, so that is. Or wait, I don't think that.
Yeah, I just want to
actually...
hit the number above. for
That's
your
right. Hold on a
poison
second.
save.
Poison. Poison. Nope, I need a 13, so missed it.
So you see that spider drop down on top of Thomas and sink his fangs in, and Thomas like lets out like a sharp noise indicating the pain, but he's still standing for now.
For now.
Friar Fitzpatrick is going to get a similar strike. And thank you for the compliments there, Covert Psyop. Thank you for stopping in with us today. A 14 to hit.
Yeah.
Hits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll start rolling.
6 points of damage. You just got a player reroll from Casey.
Oh.
Can we get a player D roll?
A go back in time reroll.
Yeah.
All right. I'm using
Unroll the last 2 hit,
So we are looking for poisons. Sounds good. Okay. 17. I am okay with poison.
All right.
And I am still up. I figured I would try to take up the brunt of maybe some hits today because I have the hit points for it right now. Okay.
Sounds good.
Not many though.
Yeah, might want to step back, bro.
Okay.
Boon of healing Casey is providing. Okay, well we'll get to that if we've got a party here to get to that. All right, so we need to do another initiative roll.
Okay, here goes.
Big
We
boy.
got some rerolls.
We got it.
A 3.
I got a 6.
Oh.
I don't know that I can beat that. Should I try to reroll to match it, guys?
No.
I think we save that reroll for a poison.
I say we do.
Save.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I will just throw this out there. This is old school, so I have a feeling that poison is really, really
Yeah.
Nasty.
Does anybody have some off stretches laying around? I got one.
The potion?
Yeah, I have one potion that we knows cures poison. Sure,
That is
but only uno.
Mhm.
You guys have potions?
So nobody else can hit.
All right, the
Too
spiders
late.
are up first. So there's one that's on Thomas. Is not relenting yet. Misses on that one.
Maureen, I think there might be some sound is coming through.
Okay.
Yeah, just mute probably when you're not. Yeah, thank you. And then the other one is attacking Friar, and that one also misses. Party's turn. Anybody wish to move?
Wow.
Yeah. I do. So I'm going to look at my bow in disgust and sword move forward into melee range.
Moving forward into melee range. All right. Any other repositioning?
I'm still functional, right? I'm
Yes.
just like,
Nothing has happened to you yet.
right. Okay.
Nah.
Yet.
Yeah.
Our DM is being very careful with his language. I don't like it.
I'm just trying to be factual and accurate. Giving you the information as you need it. Range attacks. I think we got Topsy still in the back.
I sure do. Bam! Such a heavy 12.
12 will miss. We can move to our melee folks. Let's see. Lillibeth, you just moved up there. Sorry, you're muted currently.
Can I use a reroll?
You can.
Okay. Good. Oh, it didn't make any difference. 5.
All right. Other melee. Let's go. Thomas.
Yeah. I rolled with my advantage a 10 and a 20. So
Okay,
and
that's a hit.
max on the die, damage die, which is 8 plus 1, so 9.
Yeah.
That one goes down. As you
Yes.
plunge your blades into its chest, the thing falls backwards and its legs curl up on itself. The other one is still very much active and on top of Geoffrey. Friar, you are burning away at the webs yet?
Yeah, I'm trying to get them both free at this point.
So Geoffrey, you break free at this moment because the last of the webs that had been restraining you have burned away.
Right. That mean I get an attack on this guy?
Yeah, you can make an attack.
Yeah. All right, I'm doing it. I'm going after it. Okay, let's see. So 13.
13 will hit.
Yes. Right. So what is Sir Chide Sword? Was that a D8?
It
For
should
damage?
be a D8.
Okay.
I think there's some magic bonus on it.
There's a +2 plus my attack, my strength modifier. So it'd be a +3 on the die. I rolled an 8. So 8,
Come
9,
on.
10, 11.
He had 11
Woo.
hit points left.
Yep.
Nice.
Oh.
Woo!
And you managed to kill that last remaining spider. Drops away. You're freed from the webbing,
Damn.
but
Oh.
Thomas is looking rather pale.
Yeah, I move and kind of slowly like go to my knee and kind of go from my knee to sitting leaning against a tree.
Geoffrey's going to reach into his backpack. He's going to grab the ostrich potion. He's going to just about like toss it to to his friend, and then being like, "Oh, this is precious." He's like, "Oh, I'm not going to throw it," and he walks it over very carefully and hands it to Thomas.
Oh no! No, don't spike it at him. You have to drink it.
So you're gonna use the Ofterich.
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to make this call. You guys remember what Ofterich does, right?
Right? Doesn't it cure poison? I thought
I think it gives you a reroll with a bonus or something like that.
It gives you a reroll to save versus poison against animal
Right.
venom.
Okay.
All right.
I'm going to say, if you want, allow the combination of Casey's Boon of Healing and the Ofterich to make it an auto success.
Hmm.
It's up to you.
You would rather use the Boon of Healing to heal hit points and take the risk. Whichever one you want.
I'll leave it up to you guys.
No. Yeah.
No, we'd rather have you. I mean, I would rather have you alive, so that's not even a question.
Okay.
I mean, I'm as fit as a fiddle. That's all you, dude.
All right. So
Yeah, I got a feeling it's dead, in minutes or something like that. So.
yeah, you had 10 minutes. It's a very fast acting poison. Let's see. Geoffrey, are you able to delete the Ofterich?
Let me see.
If not, I can take
Yep.
it off there.
It sure did.
Okay. Awesome. So you get to Thomas in time. And that little
Drink
bit
this.
of
You'll feel better.
something from Madam Shantywood
Yes.
came in handy.
Yeah.
Wow, that whole
I hate
venom stuff
spiders.
seems rather deadly. I mean, I don't know about you, but maybe we could use something like that.
Are
I
you
mean-
saying you want to collect some of the venom from the dead?
I'm not saying anything, but I'm just saying, it could be rather useful, in case of, I don't know, ogre witches? I don't know.
Ooh. Wait, they were drinking out of some pot, weren't they? What if we were to spike their witch's brew?
All right, hold on. We are going the opposite direction. We are not going back there. We're not spiking Ogre Witch's brew. We are trying to find. But
Well,
you.
Not-
Your Holiness, but think about it.
Holiness.
But the application of venomous toxins could be very beneficial to our future.
Yes,
Could we have us?
Collect it without being envenomated ourselves, right, guys?
Can we
Let's
use the
not even
Ofterich?
F with that possibility.
Is it worth trying? Can we use the Ofterich bottle? Is it a bottle? Assuming it's a
Probably little
bottle.
vial, yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, do we have people with good enough armor that's unlikely that poison will get on them? I mean, Topsy, I really wouldn't want you to try and do it with a claw or
mean,
your
if
bare
only we had-
hands.
If only we had someone who's very good at foraging, scrounging for things in undesirable locations.
Who could that be?
I
I
don't know.
don't know. What's our Harley's name? Ches?
What about our huntress?
Well, we don't forage, we hunt. Okay, so there is a difference between
Are
those
you-
two things.
Think about it. In the scale of hunting, what is skinning and collecting stuff but a part of hunting? I mean, you gotta get it
It
off
is-
somehow.
Totally true. I have no idea how to even go about starting that, but I'd be willing to try.
It's like a cow. You just milk it or something.
Kesney
I
would
don't know about that.
Kesney would probably step in and say, "This poison is to be delivered via injury,
Live.
not ingestion."
Right.
Also, I can't put it in their stew.
Yeah.
What?
She'd probably say you could, but that's not. You might not have. It might be not be super effective.
At any weapon point that we covered with the poison would unlikely be at risk to us too, unless. Yeah, no, it really, Topsy, it's a great idea, but it doesn't.
I mean, if you don't want to do it, I can do it. It's totally fine. I'm just trying to go for all our options here. But even if like ingesting it doesn't work exactly, like if it gives you the runs, it could give us opportunities to do things, right?
Oh. Do you mean just why not just coat your arrows with the poison?
Oh yeah, that too. Or I can give it to big muscle boy over here. Like he slings that sword, like, hoo-wee, like that. Ooh, that's a mighty swing he has. Put a little bit of this venom on that, and they're sure to be done.
True, but I have to point out that if we're carrying arrows around and we actually have to go back and reach for it, and we actually nick ourselves by accident on the wrong arrow, that's not a good. Swords
Well, then
would be better. Swords would be better.
Well, then I think you wouldn't be a good hunter if you nick yourself on your own arrows, right?
It happens. I mean, look, I couldn't even hit the darn spider, so.
I think Geoffrey's just gonna be like, I don't want to f with this poison. I don't have any more off-stitch, and he's just gonna be like helping Thomas up and being like, let's be on our way, guys. Let's just go.
And thank you for the DM reroll, Kamas75. Appreciate that.
So nice.
So nice.
Yes.
DM needs it.
Thomas, we're on the same page here, right? Like, come on.
I don't want to mess with any of that. I kind of give Geoffrey a hearty handshake and a little pat on the shoulder. And thanks for the quick thinking there. I forgot about that potion.
Anytime,
I was done for.
There's no more where that comes for. So we're all gonna need to keep our eyes on the skies and about us. I fear there may be more beasts lurking about.
Like griffins?
Like all sorts of stuff, apparently.
Well,
Hopefully
spiders.
more spiders.
Well, Your Holiness, come on. You think this is a good idea, right?
I mean, I would say if you're gonna do it, Topsy, just go do it and let's go.
Well,
I have a glove. You could wear a glove. I have one glove.
I
There
have
you are.
3 empty vials. If you want to attempt to.
Oh yeah, absolutely I do. Listen, I gotta contribute to some way in this place. I can't just be like a third wheel in this 5-party group, you know?
You're not a
Yeah.
third
I gotta do
wheel.
something.
Be the
I'm good.
fifth wheel, but
That's a good idea. Yes.
No, I mean the 6th wheel because Kezi's here now.
All right.
Chezzy, what's her name?
I give Topsy one of the empty vials that I have.
I give Topsy my one glove I have left.
Okay.
I give Topsy a pat on the back and a little scritch on the back of his ear.
Topsy, what's your intelligence score?
Not terrible. Let's see. 11.
Okay. Roll
Very
a d20 and add a +5 to it.
D20. Where do I do that on Foundry? Let's see. $24.
Okay. You just realize you have no idea how to get the venom to excrete from the glands or whatever. So like you were thinking like maybe it was just like milking a cow or something, and so you got the glove, and it's just like not effective at collecting anything substantial.
And here I was thinking I rolled really good, but I forgot this is the other way around.
Yeah.
I just can't. Come on. You can just let it out. It's okay.
It was worth a try to be
You don't need
useful.
it anymore.
It was worth a try to be useful.
Kezi just
Good
comes
try.
over by you and kind of gives you a little pat on the head and is like, let's be moving on now.
Oh.
You got your rat, you know.
It was a squirrel.
Oh. Well, take your wins where you can get them, you know?
Before we move on any further, I would just ask Thomas, how are you looking?
Yeah.
Not very good, right?
I've been better.
Okay.
But
I will give a quick prayer. I think I would like to heal you before we move forward. So
okay. I mean, just so you know, I'm hit points wise, I'm okay, but I'm probably a little sluggish from this
okay.
poison. But I mean,
Yeah, either way, I think I'm gonna cast a cure light wounds on you.
thank you.
Okay. Here we
Praise be to the one true.
No, yes. Yes.
Yeah, sure.
And Sister and Saint Lillibeth as well.
You get 3 hit points back.
Thank you.
I'll
Sure.
never get tired of watching you do that, brother.
It's not me. Never is me.
I think that's the first time I've actually had any magical healing on me.
Mm.
Little
So,
tingly. It
Yeah.
feels good though.
Yeah.
All
I think I
right.
like that. I think I like that.
Like a
Feeling
shot of hard liquor.
feeling patched up, ready to move on.
Yes.
That's not good. So you do have your hunters with you. You're at risk of getting lost here. A hunter has a 3 in 6 chance of finding the path again. Not that there's exactly a path, but not getting completely crazy lost. You got 2. It's up to you, Moreen. Do you want me to roll it, or would you like to roll it?
God, with all of the wonderful luck and skill I've demonstrated today, I still think I want to roll it.
All right, roll me a d6. You want a 1, 2, or a 3?
A 1.
Oh. Whoop.
This is good because I don't want to deal with the consequences of that. And so you all travel the better part of the day again, in the rain, the heavy, heavy rain. But luck brings you to an old stone road that cuts through the woods. Eventually, the thick underbrush of the forest gives way, and you step out into this width of the forest that has been cleared away to make way for this road that seems to run to the northwest, to the southeast.
Does it look like a well-used road or a newly
It does.
constructed road? Or
Not newly constructed. It's definitely old. Like, this is an ancient roadway, but one that has been maintained.
Are there any signs on the road?
Not. That would be a little too convenient, probably, that there was to be a road sign right there. But yeah, it's probably, with the sort of stumbling around, getting lost and such. Like, you're getting the sense that it's evening. There's still sunlight up and out, but it's probably about like 5 p.m.
Does this
Oh,
road
wow.
go east, west, north, south?
It goes northwest to southeast.
Well, we were kind of heading. I mean, we were wanting to head
West,
west,
right?
so it might be best if we had to pick a direction
Oops.
on the.
Stay on
to
the
go
road.
north. Stay on
Yeah,
the
the
road. and go
west will-
northwest.
Sounds good. So you start to walk and make your way in that direction. And eventually, maybe about an hour or so in, you do come across a sign that is just like a wooden a wooden marker of this community that you were about to see. And it has carved into it the name Gullblight. And beyond it, there's sort of this like really intense scent that you kind of take in. It almost smells like kind of garlicky, onion. And you can see that there are some farm fields in the distance that have these types of things growing in them. And the road leads into this quaint little hamlet. There's what appears to be an old inn, a few cottages, a little wooden fence that just kind of marks and lines the path that leads into town. Each little property, each little cottage just seems to be marked by these low hedges that kind of mark the yard and such. And some of those even have little subsistence farms, little plots where they grow some vegetables and things out front. You see people kind of meandering about. Everybody in this town seems to be breggle. Shorthorns out in their out just kind of on the road, coming and going, some with buckets, having come in from the wilderness, or maybe coming from a well somewhere with water, coming back home.
Is it still raining?
It is still raining.
When we heard him call out the captain or say the captain will hear about this, did he say the captain's name? Full name? Like, do we have that information, or do we just know the captain?
I think you got a name,
Thought so.
Lockhorn.
I think Geoffrey would probably approach some of the breggle as they're, going about their business, if they're not too far off, or if they're in, close distance, to say, have you heard of Captain Lockhorn? We're searching for him. Have you seen him? Things like that,
Sure. As you come in, like the first, there's like a woman that's like carrying like 2 buckets or whatever, and she's kind of hustling to try to get in out of the rain. You stop her, and she says, Captain Lockhorn. Yeah, you could usually find her at the inn at night. She's probably out on patrol just now, but you could either find her there or sometimes, and she'll point to there's like a building kind of on the south part of the village. It's just like a little stone I don't know. It looks like it's like its doors face like the road, and it's got like a window there that it seems like it's kind of like a toll house kind of thing. And she'll say sometimes you can find her there, but mostly she's out probably on patrol. So you could check in with the guard at the toll house, or try to find her at the inn tonight.
Thank you. We appreciate that. And I think, Geoffrey will suggest to the group that we go ahead and head to the inn and get dry and provision our lodgings for the night, and wait for the captain there, because he is wet and tired and most likely hungry.
Indeed. I want a hot bath to soak in.
So you make your way to this inn. It has sort of like an interesting infrastructure in that it is very square. It's like a stone building. And as you enter in, you can see that there's like these little booths that seem to be kind of tucked into these small little compartments. And the reason is that this inn was once a former jail that had been converted into an inn. So all those little areas where the booths are old cells. But this place is now functioning as an inn. There's a sign out front that reads "The Mannish Miser," and there's a number of shorthorn breggles in here. The establishment has kind of a cramped feel, just the interior and the design of this place that has been retrofitted to be this inn doesn't feel This feels like a little off as you're coming in. Kind of cramped, low roofed. There's a fire that is. It's kind of like, it's not a fireplace, but like a fire pit in the middle of the room, and then there's like a chimney over that allows the smoke and everything to exhaust up the top, and that's got like an iron grate over it or whatever. But it is warm in here. Behind the bar, you can see that there's a shorthorn woman who has a number of like brands like kind of burned into her arms. Like she's kind of got like a rough look for a goat folk. But she sees you all coming and she's like, "Go ahead, take a seat. I'll be with you in just a moment." And at some point she comes out and she provides you a dish that is it's kind of like these little grilled like garlic bits on a plate, kind of drizzled with some kind of a condiment over it. But she sets that down and she takes your drink orders. And as she's taking your orders, you see a towering longhorn enters into the inn, who wears a military dress uniform. She's got an eye patch over one eye, and her insignia on her outfit clearly has the symbol of House Ramius. And she's flanked by two other soldiers who are armed, and they go and they take a seat.
I think Geoffrey would probably let them get settled. Wouldn't just kind of jump them as they're sitting down. But being that he is a knight and he's in his armor and stuff, he would probably, go to approach them, with all the niceties and social coteries that knights should give to show that he's not a threat as he approaches. And would ask ask number one, if this is Captain Lockhorn, and then ask if I could have a seat so I can give them some information that me and my party have been privy to.
Be sure to offer them their first round too.
Oh,
There you go.
if you want some advice here, and then like Topsy will produce like a corn on the cob and give him this.
So yeah, I'll
Corn on the cob. I'm
that's great.
absolutely in heaven over the garlic, so I'm like in bliss just eating it right now.
Yeah, Geoffrey's wearing his iron ring that allows him not to smell because it's a little too garlicky in here for him. But yeah, I'll offer to buy them a round of drinks and just let them know I have some information that I think that they would want to know.
Sure. I'll take care of that real quick. Thank you, Corey, for the DM reroll. Appreciate that.
Oh my god, this DM and his rerolls.
I know, but I needed them like a little bit ago. That's all right. We'll come back around. All right, we gotta find some information about drinks. Give me a second.
Can I get some information, please?
I'll definitely be a lot happier once I have these things in physical form.
When is that coming? I gotta look at
I think it'll be
thing.
next summer, like summer 24.
Oh,
I feel like it's gonna be such a pleasant surprise when it finally gets here. I'm gonna be like, oh, I forgot about you.
It's going to be a big kit.
I'm gonna refresh my coffee here, Alex. I'll be back.
Yep.
I think I'm gonna do the same.
30
Actually, I'll be right back.
Me too.
Well, well, well. Looks like it's just you and me, huh?
The problem is I'm looking at the new stuff. Like I knew where everything was in the old stuff, but okay. Beverages. Let's see. Let's roll a d8.
The house special today.
And Lyra, thank you for the player reroll.
Did it up a little bit.
All right. So a round of Cobsworth Pale, a fine fizzing ale with a yellow hue and the flavor of cherry syrup. A round of that will. Are you buying just for them or for your party as well?
We're all going to have one. That sounds unique.
Sounds good.
It's been a long day. We all deserve it.
That'll be 45 silver pieces, or 4 gold and 5 silver pieces. I can grab that off your sheet.
Yeah, take it off my sheet. Topsy's got the rest of our money in his prison pocket.
In the perfect place for it.
Yeah, prisons. This inn, right?
Yeah.
Reminds me of somewhere we've all been before.
That's right.
Reading Barca reading? Are you criminals?
So you buy the round, and the proprietor gets that. The Longhorn Breggle with the eye patch. She accepts the drink. Are you bringing it over like yourself, or are you having the proprietor drop it off and like signal that it was you?
What Thomas? You're the one that knows the place, the social place. What's the play? Is the play to bring it over myself, or is the play to have them, have it sent over and then give then approach?
Sorry, I was muted there. It would be best to have it sent over and told, and then approach.
Okay,
But
that's
then
what I'm
if you-
going to do then.
But then if you give her the corn on the cob, it's a great conversation starter. Just got it.
I got this.
That's true.
I'm sorry. So what was the play?
I'm going to grab for the corn on the cob before Thomas probably bats my hand down.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was doing something while you were discussing. How did you want to approach it?
We're gonna send it over. We're gonna have the proprietor bring the drinks over, let him know that it was from me, and then I will approach. After they've had a sip or two.
Sounds good. So you see the proprietor drop them off. A little bit of where did this? Who could we thank? And then they point over at your table, and you see the Longhorn kind of raises her glass, sips, and actually after like a minute or two, she comes over to your table and she says, "Aye, thank you for the drink. Haven't seen your kind around here before. Did you just arrive?"
Yes, we have just arrived. Actually, we've been, I believe, looking for you, Captain. Was it
Lockhorn.
Lockhorn? Captain Lockhorn. If you wouldn't mind having a seat, we have some information that may be of great importance to you.
And she kind of turns an eye at that. She says, well, and she pulls up a chair. Looking for me, you say? Well, I have a moment. Of course, I'm always interested to hear reports or stories that you might have about threats to our community.
So yeah, I will go about giving her the story of. I will not mention the Breggle boy in the story. I will come up with some other reason, some kind of mission we were put on that put us out in that direction, that we were hired for. but then I will give them the story of the 2 ogre witches that we stumbled upon, and then, with as best as I can from my recollection, the descriptions of the breggle that were bringing the people down into the pit, and the description of the other, breggle knight that they brought down, and everything that was said, and just kind of give them the full rundown of what we saw, and the fact that their name was mentioned, and that it seemed like there was possibly some some people in the army or the Breggles that may be under the control of this witch, and we felt like these witches, and it may be, a grave danger to the people in this area.
Well, this is very useful information that you bring back to us. We have had a lot of people going missing recently. In fact, one of my soldiers, maybe the same, probably the very person that you saw, had gone missing, hadn't returned from patrol. I think you have stumbled upon something we've been searching for. Do you think you could find it? You could find this place again?
Believe we could find the place again, but I believe that we would need to work together and approach very carefully, as these witches very obviously employ some sort of mind control, have some kind of magical ability, and I don't know that. I do think that an army would help, but I think that we're going to need more than brute strength to overcome these witches and rid the land of this danger.
Well, certainly, I would like to provide any assistance that we can. I have but 10 soldiers with me here in the village, but we would go out there to face... Do you know... You're leaving out some details that make me think that you don't know what they sit upon, what is down in that crater. This is the lair of a creature that slumbers, known as the bicorn. You didn't see it, did you? If it has
No.
awoken, then all hope is lost.
We did not see it, no.
We did
I wouldn't
hear
know it if
strange sounds,
I did.
though, I believe. Or go ahead,
What
sorry, Thomas.
What is this creature? Have I ever heard of this? I guess I've got like that monster lore thing. Have I ever heard of what a bicorn is?
This would be such a specific beast that you would not have heard of it. It's
Okay.
like a one-of-a-kind.
Gotcha.
It
So
did
why-
seem that they were leading the people down to almost to be sacrificed or fed to something.
That concerns me.
I
But
mean,
it
without
never-
knowing anything about this bicorn, that's the vibe that I got just being there.
I have never seen it myself. It is something of a myth. But based
Can I
on...
ask?
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say I was going to ask. Can finish what you were thinking, but I have a question about other things that might be known. Please go ahead.
The story goes that it is a beast of fey origin, body of a bull, legs of a boar, and a head that combines the worst aspects of both a tusked and horned monstrosity. It is known to be a beast that gives birth to nightmares.
It gives birth to nightmares.
I have heard in recent times people claiming that they had seen very strange things coming out of the forest. It is the only reason that I bring this up and think that maybe there is something to it. Just based on your description of the scene, you share that strange things came out of that pit.
Things that seemed unreal and dreamlike, nightmare-esque.
But they came from us and not the beast.
We don't know where they came from. We just know that we experienced some strange things.
These stories that you say about this creature giving birth to nightmares, are those nightmares then like physical in our world?
Can't say for certain. I don't have much experience with the sorceress or the fae, and it seems like we might have a little bit of both in the mix here. These are dangerous foes that you're suggesting we go up against, but we can't have a threat like this so close to our threshold.
Agreed.
Well,
We came out here to do good, sent out on a mission by the church, and we will do good.
Yes.
very well. Give me the night to rally our forces and get my soldiers in order. And in the morning, perhaps we set out.
Agreed. Well met. We appreciate your honor.
Likewise, I thank you for bringing this to our attention. I myself have lost my sister in recent days. I'm thinking perhaps that mystery leads to this pit and these two ogres. Not
We'll hope
putting
that's
a
not
lot
the
of
case.
hope in that she is still alive, but I am hoping that we can get some closure.
Yes. Well, as far as these nightmares themselves, from what we can tell, they are harmless, though as soon as you interact with them, that is when they will dissolve. But you have to prepare your men for this, for they might see faces and, well, fears manifest down there.
Or worse, the people they love.
I will brief them. Thank you for this. I'll talk to the proprietor here. You'll stay the night. You'll stay the night. No cost. You are guests. Get some sleep. In the morning, we will set out.
Thank
And
you.
she goes and she'll go and talk to the proprietor a bit, throw some coin down on the table. And then she pretty much doesn't touch her ale or anything. She's just out the door, and going and briefing all the soldiers that she's going to take out with you. Kezi will turn in pretty early here this evening herself. Is there anything that any of you wish to do before taking a rest?
Oh, good.
I was just gonna say I would like if they have bathing services. I want to get a good bath in, but also if this creature that she spoke of, it's possible that those ogre hags are nightmares as well.
It is. There's so much you could read into it with the birthing of nightmares. Is that physical? Is it not? Is it bringing demons or witches into the world? Who knows? I think the only way we're going to find out is by going and taking some sort of action or exploring and then taking some action, something.
What do we have as far as items, weapons, things of that nature to
On the same page
Like
because I'm looking
Faye?
through my inventory
right?
now.
Doesn't
I have
cold
I have-
iron or something? I mean,
I have
Well,
2
no.
pure iron longswords that I'm carrying just for that reason. If we're fighting Fae, but I don't know if we know if the witches are Fae or if the creature is Fae. I guess we can assume the creature might be. Trying to look at I've got 2 iron long swords that we collected. I
I
think
have
that's
silver. Go ahead.
that's all I see that could probably be helpful.
I have silver tipped arrows and the bronze sword, which seems to do a pretty decent job of killing things. Still don't know much more about it than we did before, but that I'd like to get more ammunition for maybe a better bow.
I think as I would look around to make sure that there's not like any. I'll try my best to look around and see there's no kind of like anyone kind of leaning in to hear what we're talking about. If it seems that it's pretty empty, then I would like to talk to the group a little bit more, kind of in a hushed tone.
Yeah, Geoffrey was thinking sort of the same thing, but was thinking maybe we could discuss that over
In the room or something.
the peace pipe.
Oh, sure.
You know what I mean?
Sorry, I'm just going to
No idea.
acknowledge this. Moreen, just so you know, I keep muting you because that audio is just so rough that. So I can keep doing it, or if you would mind the mute button, that'd be awesome. So you guys you got some tobacco left?
I believe we do. Let me look on. Did I have it on my character sheet?
just a question, Topsy. What did you have as far as weapons that might be?
Oh, pretty much absolutely nothing. But if you need someone to carry one of those pure iron longswords, I could be your fella. I mean, I don't like it as much as the next Fae, but
I'll hand one. I'm gonna take one off of my character sheet and give it to Topsy.
wow, that easy, huh? I don't even have to go through a whole spiel like I had to do with the Venom thing. No,
You're good.
no. So when I'm wielding a weapon that's all based on, killing Fae and whatever, it's fine. But when I go to touch a toxin, it's all like, oh no, don't do that.
Listen, that toxin just almost killed my buddy. So I'm a little worried of that toxin.
Oh,
It's
don't get me
horrible.
wrong, I understand that completely, but it could have been a useful tool, much like this sword. I'm just saying.
I hear you.
I don't really think you do.
You tried to milk the spider well, Topsy. Unfortunately, your little kitty fingers were not nimble enough. It's okay.
So, you wanted to do some contemplation.
Yeah, I have some barley blend left.
Okay.
I've got it says ×3. So I don't know if that's three uses
doses.
for all of us or if it's 3 doses.
3 doses. So.
Okay. That would be the end of it. But I do think the question of what we want to do about the Breggle boy is a good question to ponder over the barley blend.
Sounds good. So this is an intelligence check. So who wants to be the one? So somebody does the intelligence check and gets to apply the mod.
Let's see. What is my intel? My intelligence is 14. Does anybody have anything higher?
I do
Thomas.
not.
No.
14's my end. So.
Okay, so Yeah, so I'll do it then.
All right. So form your question.
My question is, what is the ethical thing to do regarding the Breggle boy?
The ethical thing. Okay.
Not the political thing to do.
Yes.
What would be the, according to our group's ethics,
Sure.
what should we do that would be right? Well, all of us would consider to be right.
All right, I can roll with that. So you're gonna roll a d20, and then I'll round it up. You get a plus. I'll give you a +2 bonus.
Okay, +2.
So it'll actually be a -2 because you want to roll under your intelligence.
Okay, so that's perfect because I rolled exactly a 14, so -2 would be a 12.
Okay. So the ethical thing to do.
Not moral, ethical.
Well, I guess I'll lay out the scenarios, right?
Yeah, what are the options? What do we think the options are?
Return him to his father, right? If you return him to Lord Malbleet, in theory, that eliminates his instigation of this conflict. He's back with his family, but you have reason to believe that his father is a monster and has potentially been experimenting on him. So you'd probably be putting him back in a situation of abuse.
Right. So we don't particularly like that choice.
Yeah. Taking him to his grandfather in Lankshorn seems he had some success in keeping him hidden for a bit of time, but the poor old man seemed like he was pretty fretful and full of anxiety.
In over his head
as a subordinate of Lord Malbleet, who also has his daughter in her care. So probably not ideal. Madam Shantywood had been looking for the boy for whatever reason. You don't know why or what her angle was, but you know that she was looking for him. You don't know much so then there's the claim that the boy had been with Lord Ramius. You have pretty strong belief that was never the case, but that is the mess that Malbleet has put out into the world to try to say that, he's kidnapped my son and thus I need to fight to try to get him back or whatever, which seems like just a flimsy excuse to eat up some land or try to take some land, or drive a wedge between him and Baron Hogwarsh. Maybe you could take him to Lord Ramius. You don't know much about him. So I don't know that you would feel that that's a good choice. You could take him to High Hankle potentially, and let the Baron, who should be handling this whole conflict and seemingly hasn't been, try to put him in the hot seat to deal with it. You could take him and spirit him away somewhere far, 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 far away from here, and see if he, I don't know.
But
in the immediate situation, it seems like you have a lot of bad choices or a lot of uncertain choices.
It seems to. I mean, I don't know, guys. In my opinion, hearing the choices, right, hearing all of those options, I almost feel like the Madam Shantywood option seems almost the best because she would have a vested interest in keeping him alive because then that's her political leverage, right? But I don't know. Yeah, it does seem like we have a whole lot of bad options regarding this kid.
It sounds like a problem involving a lot of trolleys.
I would like to just whisk the kid away, but then we've just got endless war, right? Which isn't really a fantastic option.
What?
Well, does it have to be all or nothing? I mean, the first thing is taking him away from where he is right now. That seems to be
Well, that's the most important thing right now, right? But
Right.
I think the thing that we and I think we're all agreed on that. Like we all know we're going in there. We're going in there, guns ablazing. We're literally taking the army with us, right?
And
So we know we're
Yeah.
getting the
So-
kid out of there.
and
But
that
what the hell are we gonna do after
Mhm.
that? And what are we gonna do about them
yeah.
finding out about the kid being down there?
And so, just in case it hasn't been clear, they are loyal to Lord Ramius. I guess you don't know. Like,
Seems like
it seems like they would probably recognize him, but I guess you don't know.
Mhm.
Like,
And in that case, if they recognize him and we're not able to whisk him out before they notice, the kid's going to Lord Ramius just by the measure of us going in guns blazing the way we are. The question's almost answered for us. The kid's going to end up in Lord Ramius's hands.
Yes.
Are we
right.
cool with that?
Well, that is what is going to happen. I don't know exactly what he will do.
I mean, it seems like it's better than him being in his father's hands.
Well, we stop
He
a
must hand him
war.
over to his father.
Well, I have a question. What is the agreement that we have with his grandfather?
I think our agreement was to go out and check on the wizard or whatever because he was working on something or something like that. Oh no, I'm trying to remember now.
Did we?
I don't think
have,
we said much about the wizard either.
Right, but I mean, was there any agreement that we had with him about the boy when the boy went missing? Did we not say that we would look for him? Right.
I
I mean, that was kind of why we.
I don't think you did you?
I don't think we did either.
think it just is it's a mystery.
Yeah, I mean,
Robert Stack showed up and we left.
right. I mean, I was just curious. Like, Chris couldn't remember what if there was any agreement. I mean, the only point that I was going to bring up was if there was even a modicum of an agreement with the grandfather, the ethical decision would be take the boy back there because we don't have any agreement with any of these other people.
Sorry, I see. I'll unmute.
Thank you. I so I'm not sure about how I unmute and unmute in between these conversations. But
You can use the mute button in Discord.
okay, thank you. Thomas, I don't agree. I don't agree. Ethically, we haven't even talked to the boy. We have no idea what's going on. All we have is the words of the adults around him. He's terrified if his dream self is any indication, and he's captured by ogres. The only thing to do is from my perspective, is to make sure that we know what's going on well enough, an idea of what we need to do once we get him free. Because it's pretty clear he needs to be. They have no care for him. Frankly, I don't know that.
You can't cut out
lost
there.
you.
Yeah.
Yep. But I guess let me bring up a larger point. If we don't have any agreement with this boy, or with anybody about this boy, and there's a whole bunch of bad decisions. I'm not certain that it would be in our interests to focus on the boy at all. Whatever ends up happening goes, right? I mean, if you have Malbleet putting out false information that says Ramius took him, well, you've got a bunch of witnesses that that's not the case, or maybe he did and Ramius is involved with this or whatever, but these Breggle don't have any idea. If we took him and paraded him through High Hankle so that he was seen by everybody, I mean, you're kind of putting a lot of this stuff into turmoil or whatever as far as this false information. But I don't necessarily know. What's our end game here in dealing with this boy?
I think that's what we're trying to figure out over this peace pipe.
Well, I understand, but I'm
I don't really know what our end game is with this boy. I don't know what to do. I know that whether we like it or not, our paths have intersected.
Sure. And every intersection is just a single point in time. I guess what I'm saying is that on a greater level, I simply don't have a dog in this fight, and I don't care. Yeah, he's a half-breggle boy who's being, it's causing all kinds of problems for all kinds of people, and I don't want. You want
to get as far away from it as possible.
Yeah, if
that's the case, we
hand him off. We hand him off to somebody and be done with it.
Well, if that's the case, then we should be good with just kind of going in with Remius's group and letting them handle it.
Yeah,
I think that's not a terrible. Out of all the choices, that's definitely not the worst.
Yeah.
Isn't always going to be the only choice that we have. And no. We've all been pawns in this game. And I would say that Sir Silas didn't take the stance of just leaving us behind.
Well, I fear I might have. I thought about this happening. When I suggested it, I figured, that we would have help getting the boy, and that is really what I had thought most important to saving this child.
I stand with you.
No, and you're right. I think we've established the most important thing right now is to help not just the child, but the people out here, is to eliminate this threat and to get the child out of there.
And hopefully there are...
The problem is thinking the next step. We're always good at doing the thing now. It's the after that we're bad at.
Well, there is much more resources, people with much more resources than us, and we hope that they do not wish for this war. I do not know. Hopefully we will be able to at least speak with Lord Ramius. If this all works, maybe explain what is happening.
Mm-hmm.
That is all I know.
I feel like if we will have earned an audience after this escapade. If it goes well. If it doesn't go well, we'll all be dead. So no worries.
And to be totally honest, that's the main thing I'm trying to avoid, is us being dead. I'm all for
perfectly agreeable attitude.
Yeah,
I think that's why we came out here in the first place, to get some help, right? We realized if we went in there alone, we were just dead. Dead.
And having this, freeing this boy from the situation that he's in, believe me, I'm all for, but I do not personally have any interest in endangering myself or any of my friends in the aftermath of saving this boy.
And this is what leads.
Let them sort it out.
This is what leads to what I wanted to speak to you about, and that is, if they will find out either way that the boy is here, us telling them, would that mean that there would be more support in trying to save this child if we told them now as opposed to later?
That was a good point. Realizing the inevitability of them finding out anyway, it may give us more leverage if we want, any kind of to be involved in the fate of the child later, if we do or don't, but that would give us that a little bit, the right to be involved somewhat.
Well, and nothing would say that we would have to say that we know exactly who this boy is, but to tell them that we saw a cage with what appeared to be a half-breggle boy in it, that information they can then, you don't have to necessarily be totally forthcoming with.
Yeah, and we've already discussed it. That if we go back and revise our story now, it's going to look a little weird. So I think we just run with it, maybe.
It'll be perfectly true that I was the person who thought we should go look for this strange child. We don't have to say why.
It seemed to me like the captain said he had 10 people that he could rally, and that was probably it, no matter what. So I don't know that telling him about the child would necessarily rally more troops. Maybe it would help to send for reinforcements or something.
Yeah, I mean, especially if this bicorn or whatever this creature is, if she had the idea that there was this, creature of legend or whatever here, she would rally as many as she could. Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed. Thomas, you always break it down to brass tacks. Maybe a little too brassy sometimes, but yeah, I mean, I would say Geoffrey thinks that, given the options on the table, his two thoughts were, yeah, none of them are great, but the best two might be for the life of the child to be Lord Remius or Madame Shantywood. And since this is the direction that the dice have cast itself in, it seems like the decision is almost made for us, and Geoffrey can sit okay with that rather than some of the other options. So I think he's, smoking the peace pipe and having the conversation has certainly led him to kind of that realization at this point. That at least he's okay with the way he feels like he would be okay with the way that turned, if that's the way things go.
So it sounds like in the morning you'd like to give her Captain Lockhorn the heads up about the boy.
Yeah, and I think Geoffrey's gonna just lay all the cards on the table and be like, "Look, we didn't know if we could trust you, but you seem to be honorable, and we're gonna let you know this bit of information. Having discussed it after having met you, because it's very important." Also,
I just wanted on the record that I do not agree with all of the honesty, which, I actually understand Thomas's point as well. I'm just not as willing to toss the child aside. I think we don't know enough about the captain either. And maybe we need to bring Kezzy into this too, just so that she doesn't walk blindly into whatever we decide to.
I don't think
I will follow your
has
lead.
a strong opinion. She would probably be on the side of you should tell the captain about the boy, because otherwise he is an X factor that they're not expecting, and will his life be at risk if they don't know that there is somebody in there to protect? So she would that would be her advice, but she does not see herself as a voting member of the party. So,
I would I think the Friar would even say there's a barracks around, right? Or is it? Or did we say that there was a small barracks or something?
There's not a barracks. It's like a toll booth. This. I'm not popping a map up because this village is so small that it does not merit having a map of it. Probably if you're having conversations and whatnot, you will ascertain that Lord Remius's fortress or keep. Fortress is probably not the right keep. Let's call it a keep. Is to the south. So presumably a day's travel away or half a day's travel away, there is his private, house guards and things like that.
Sounds good. We're looking more so to see if we could just tell the captain tonight, just so that preparations could be made. But if we think that maybe we don't know where he really went to, then we just save it for the morning.
Okay, so you want to try to make contact with her tonight yet?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Let him know as soon as possible.
Yeah, she would. And how much are you saying about the boy? Are you saying that you believe it to be the son, or just that it's a boy?
Just Geoffrey's kind of inclination, because he feels like they're going to figure it out anyway, but everybody's kind of said they don't really agree with that. So
I would say maybe that we've heard rumors of a child missing, and this is a Briggle boy. That's pretty.
Yeah.
Okay. I think she's going to take that very seriously and be like, I'm glad that you brought this to my attention tonight. I could send a messenger down south just in case we need reinforcements, in case we don't make it back. At least they'll know that he's there. And she'll probably impress that this could save many more lives than even those that are just there or here. This could save countless lives if this is true. And
Geoffrey's going to then just ask, if it is the child, what will be their fate?
Well, I will be duty bound to take him to Lord Ramius and see if he might not be able to end this brewing conflict between House Ramius and House Malbleet. And she'll say, everyone knows that Lord Malbleet is disingenuous when he says he has concern for any member of his family or any individual outside of himself, that he has always been angling for a reason, a political reason that he could rally support around and catch Baron Hogwash off balance as to the legitimacy of his claims. So she would say that she would want to bring him to the safety of House Ramius until a decision could be made about his fate.
Fair enough.
But she would assure you, she would say, I understand, I can sense that you have concerns about this child. He will be well taken care of. He is an innocent in this conflict.
That is how we feel. We just want to see the right thing done.
And she would give you full assurances that Lord Ramius is a just and good leader, and she knows that he would be well watched after.
All
right, brother. Let's head back. Thank you.
Let's see where our moral high ground gets us, brother. It seems like the group probably will not like our decision here, but I have learned to trust your instincts and trust the one true God.
Awesome. So you head back. You get a full night's rest here.
Awesome. I wanted to, just like mechanically, I did want to heal myself before I went to bed, just so that I could try to get all my hit points back
you
and
gotta
whatnot.
cure wounds? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right.
Is there anyone else that's down hit points?
I am down 1.
Okay,
So-
you'll get that hit point from
Right.
resting.
Noise.
So morning will come on the 13th of Reed Rhyme. And give me a second, because I should roll weather just in case that will factor into today. Should have done this ahead of time, so apologies.
I am going to go to the restroom. I'll be back.
Sounds good. Yes, it is a cloudy, misty day. Foreboding for the journey you're about to take, right? So you all will wake up and you will gather with Captain Lockhorn and her 10 soldiers. They are all dressed and ready, very professional. They are in formation. The Shorthorns are all armed with spears. And she carries a rather elegant-looking mace.
Oh.
And she readies the troops, and she kind of gives a little bit of a hype speech and says, "Men,
Today will be our Independence Day." No, sorry.
yeah, that kind of thing. You know, she just basically like we're going out. We don't know the foe that we face. You're probably going to see strange things, bizarre things, things that'll cause you many sleepless nights in the weeks ahead. But don't give up on the main reason why we are going out there. We have reason to believe that the key to bringing peace between our rival houses is there. We have reason to believe that many of our missing kin the resolution to their fate may have been out there. We may be able to find answers to the questions that we have had about our lost loved ones. Whatever it is, the thing that we are to face out there is an evil that must be expunged from the wood. And she glances over at like the friar, and she says, "I know that we have the one true God with us today. He will not let us falter." And with that, is there anything that you all wish or need to do before you head out?
Lillibeth, did you need arrows? Is there arrows available?
I need arrows.
I will poke at Geoffrey and ask for the iron sword, if possible.
Yep, I already took it off my character sheet, so you should put it on yours.
And it's a new day. It's a very important day, very dangerous day.
Time for rats.
If there's any rodents nearby, you know the help I can get.
Topsy is nothing if he's not consistent. That's what I appreciate about you, Topsy.
There really isn't a store here to like buy arrows or anything.
Is there any like from the army, from their gear? Did
They don't. I don't believe that they carry bows. They're kind of
Okay. Yeah.
These are highway. They're not. It's not like a professional like that kind of thing.
It was a thought.
It is what it is. I just thought I heard you say that, so I thought we'd try to take care of that.
Thank you. I also think that it's another thought. Before we go to bed next, wherever we are, we should set out little rat traps. If that's okay with you, Tom. Or do you want them alive? We could do both. Live traps or dead traps.
I prefer them breathing.
Live traps it is, then.
All right. So you head out into the woods, and just given time constraints and things like that, we're going to assume at some time during the day that you will arrive back at this location where the clearing was, where the felled redwood was, where these two ogre mages were concocting some kind of plot that you don't know exactly what their end game is. There really is no way to sneak up on them with the forces that you have. And so as you approach...
Can I cast Bless?
Bless before you head in there? Sure.
Okay.
Booyaka shizzle.
Bless. Allies within 20 feet, a foot square, who are not yet in melee, gain a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls, and a +1 to morale. So everyone, I do a quick, quiet prayer. And this lasts for 6 turns.
You said +1 to hit, +1 damage, right?
+1 hit, +1 damage, +1 +1 morale.
Oh, +1, +1, +1, +1, +1.
Ronnie, shields are +2 to AC. +1.
+1 to AC.
But you can choose to have your shield destroyed to make damage 0 or something like that, I think, right?
Yeah. Yep. Other precautions, preparations that you were taking before you head in? Bless. How long does that last? It's a turn?
6 turns.
6 turns. So, Lyra, that is 1 hour, basically. All right. So, with the soldiers at hand, they are going to, head in there with you. As you start to approach, you can see the clearing ahead, and you're making your way, and you can see the 2 ogres, definitely their gaze starts to look out into the woods where they hear your forces coming. And you see the 2 of them begin to, in unison, start incanting a spell. And it takes hold, and the 2 of them start to fly up until they are 30 feet in the air. You can see the boy is in the cage, sound asleep. Fire underneath that cauldron in the center of the clearing. Some kind of concoction bubbling and brewing, dispensing some kind of a nasty odor that filters over what should be crisp, clean air of the Dolmenwood. And behind them, you can see that big cavity that reaches down into the earth, where you can hear the rumblings of some sort of creature or beast slumbering and snoring away. We're going to say that you're 160 feet at the start of this encounter as you're trying to make your way in. From the boy, he's kind of on the periphery of the clearing. You're about 80 feet away from him. Who's going to be your caller?
Who wants it?
I'll do it.
Yeah, Topsy.
Yeah, baby.
I'll throw up an image of these ogres to see if something to look at.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Ooh.
Isn't that nice?
You?
beautiful.
Monkey skin.
All right, go ahead and roll a d6.
2.
I have a 5. And you have a reroll that is just coming from Lyra. Thank you, Lyra.
Thank you.
So the The two ogres, now in flight, seem to look upon one another and grin. And they are...
They have 6 fingers and 6 toes.
Yes. AI generated ogre mages. Oh, man. Okay. They are casting spells. And, well, it's not exactly a spell. But they're snapping their fingers.
Sorry.
Sir Geoffrey and I'm going to have Kezi be the other target. Make saves versus spell.
All right. Save versus spell. Question: is this magic of fairy origin?
No,
No.
unfortunately
Okay, so
not.
so I have to do above 16. 18.
Makes it. Kezi also makes it.
Damn, I was sure I wasn't gonna. Wow, that felt good.
So you feel like they were attempting to lay some kind of curse on you. They snap their fingers and point at you, and there's sort of like a little bit of a sinking feeling in the bottom of your stomach, but nothing transpires, and it becomes the group's turn. I'm gonna have the army basically be they're always last. Well, they're always after you in initiative. So we'll start with you all. Movement.
I'm gonna move towards the child.
Same.
Moving up. I'm moving up. We have a bit of ground to cover.
To the east side.
Yep. One question that I do have, Alex. Do they look more like they levitated up, or are they flying? Or
They seem
just
like they're flying, like they've got control over their movement. It's not stationary levitation.
Okay.
They're even kind of like maybe like separating a little bit at this point. All right, so moving up, Geoffrey, you're in the heavy armor, so you're like 60 feet away. The Grimalkin have a faster movement speed at any point. You've got armor on, right?
I have armor on,
Okay, so
so I
you're
can
like
move faster as a cat.
gotcha. Okay, you're wearing light armor.
Medium. Wearing
Medium?
chainmail.
Oh, okay. So you're same thing for you. You guys get a little bit closer. Everyone's kind of moving up.
Together. I wouldn't go ahead. I would stay with the group.
I would be moving towards the child too. One question I had is, I know we couldn't sneak up or anything like that, but is it possible for me to step into the wood border and actually be more hidden than not as I'm moving towards the cage, or is it just too far out in the open?
Like you're all in the woods yet, like moving towards the clearing.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get to like where the boy is, basically, then you'd be like in the clearing, because he's like on the edge.
I want to stay in the woods on the edge, at least for the moment right now, and stay more hidden than not, which I can. Yes.
Sounds good. Ranged attacks.
You said we're 60 feet out.
You'd currently from them, you'd be 140 feet away from them.
Okay.
Don't think that's in range for crossbow. Don't.
definitely not for.
I'm gonna do it anyway, just for flavor. I'm gonna pick up a stone. Ah! Damn you!
Rock sails into the clearing. All right. And certainly no one in melee. So let's roll. And the army moves up also. Roll me another d6.
Come on, doll.
Here we go. 6.
All right, you guys get initiative first. Moving up closer. Now within 120 feet of the ogres, 40 feet of the boy. Any ranged attacks?
You know it. I don't think it's still gonna work, but I'm still using my little sling.
What is your range?
Sling. I need to see if I have it on this character sheet, my old one.
You just getting close as witches.
Crossbow might be in range now.
You're gonna get beamed.
I believe it's like 2060 for the sling.
Bling says
4080, I think.
540, 4180, 8160.
Okay, so
81, 160.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
All right. Yeah, well, I mean, if that's the case, I'm within range.
Well, there's like the 3 ranges it has, it seems, for
yeah,
weapons.
the long range you're at -1 to attack.
That's fine. I'm still trying to do it. Here we
will
go.
do it as well.
I also.
All right, yeah, everybody make your ranged attacks.
Sling's a D4, right?
Yeah,
Yes. D4.
And -1.
Mm-hmm.
at -1 for range.
11.
I'm in
Actually,
the medium range for crossbow, so it's just
12.
a straight roll.
12.
12 misses.
17,
17 hits.
and
Ooh.
it's a +1 for the bless, so 4.
And unfortunately, Bless just says a +1 to the attack.
Attack and damage. And morale.
Okay, I gotta make a call probably on that.
And.
It is beautiful. It's the one true God is making this damage happen.
He's our the one true God is our tag team partner.
Yeah, brother. Imagine if that's the way they spoke. Hey there.
Like the barbarian brother.
Or the deeper, better Big Lebowski.
They're coming for you, Lebowski.
New information's come to light, man.
I do gotta step away for a moment, so if someone wants to take over calling,
Okay.
I'll be right back.
I'm afraid to do it, but I can do it.
We will say that it hits it. The weapon itself, like the crossbow bolt, does not pierce its flesh. But there looks like there's a little bit of a look of astonishment by the ogre that got hit and anger.
How dare you?
And its eyes are definitely like centering on the friar.
Was it
Gulp.
the Friar or was Topsy?
It's
was
it's
Top-
looking at the friar.
Oh damn!
Oh,
Because
because
the
you're
one
the
true
one
God is
God
our
representative.
co-pilot.
Take the wheel.
Question. If the friar is nowhere near the cage?
You all are roughly 40 feet away.
Okay. So, but is the friar with me close to the cage?
I don't know
I'd
if
be moving up with the group, so.
Yeah, I don't know that 40 feet is really close.
Well, point being is that the ogre's not looking at the cage right now.
It's looking right at the friar. The one
Yes.
is. The other is
And
just
I'm
looking
praying.
at the mass of everybody that's coming out of the woods.
Got it.
St. Godwin, the one that for this bless. Just I'm praying right now.
I think
I'm
given that,
shouting it out and yelling his name.
like, if our next move, and like Geoffrey will probably stop moving towards the child and start moving towards his brother.
Uh,
Or are we all in a group together, kind of?
sorry, I'm sorry. I've got like 10 things that I'm trying to think about right now. So, Moreen, I get. I'm trying to parse out what you're trying to do, because you're trying to sneak over to the cage, basically away from the group.
Exactly.
But everybody's going towards the cage, right? Essentially. So,
But I'm
like, you
supposed
could
to-
probably be. What kind of armor do you wear? You wear like a leather armor, so like potentially, I guess you could be like a little bit closer, because everyone else, I think, is in more of a
Thanks for the
defensive
raid.
formation with
I'm
like your slowest
Barbie.
members kind of going.
Right.
So you might be like 20, like you're maybe within 20 feet of the cage then.
Okay. And I didn't step out into the clearing.
No,
into the woods.
nobody's in. So just to be clear, nobody is in the clearing.
Got
You're
it.
all coming out of the woods currently.
Okay.
Like you're still firmly in the woods. Remember, it's thick.
And that
It's
gives me
like
stealth
you just have
advantage.
no way of sneaking through this. Like the mages with a force like this, we're gonna get the heads up that you were coming.
Right. But for an individual person going through all of this, I mean, they see the group is coming, they know that we're there. But for one person, deliberately trying not to draw attention to themselves, what would.
I mean, I don't know what to tell you other than you have not been targeted by an attack yet, but
Yeah. And the reason I'm asking is because for the hunter specifically, I get a stealth advantage if I stay in the forest, and I can actually just continue to move through the woods.
okay. Potentially you can get that. Just realize then though that you're moving slower if you're sneaking.
But that's okay.
Okay, because then you'd be further back from the group rather than closer to the cage.
Okay. And I'd still have to roll for it too. So that's the other reason I'm asking.
Yeah. So you want to employ that ability and sneak forward?
I want to do the silence and not so much the stealth. If that makes sense.
Okay, go ahead and make a move stealthily check.
Okay,
And thank
and
you so much,
let's-
Raiders Troller Games, coming in with 37 people. We appreciate that. I imagine that's Chuck out there. Hope he had a good game.
And after all that, I failed it at it.
Okay, sounds good. So, sorry. I think this whole turn is like kind of crazy because we already did attacks, right? Like you guys did your ranged
Mhm.
attacks. Okay.
Yeah, it would be the ogre's turn.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So ogre's turn. They're gonna move their gaze. They're gonna move their gaze to the captain and Thomas. Thomas, make a save versus spell.
Save versus spell. All right, let's see here. All right. Nope. I rolled an 8 on the die. Unless we have a reroll.
You do have
we have a
reroll. You want to use one?
Ooh.
I don't. Do I?
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
All right.
Captain
That is
makes
a
it.
7. That is a 17 on the die, so I made that one.
All right.
Thank
the
you,
reroll
chat,
helps.
for the reroll. Yes.
TPK. I don't know if I can TPK them. They got like a squadron of soldiers with them. We'll see. We'll see what happens. And the ogre mages have not been doing so well with their spells here yet. So they look frustrated. They're flying about in the center of the clearing there. they're talking in their kind of language that you don't understand. Communicating, they're kind of spreading out a little bit further. The soldiers, they just kept moving up ahead right along with you. Let's do another initiative roll.
4.
4. All right, you guys are up first. You're continuing to move forward. At this point, you'd be like 20 feet from the boy.
Mm-hmm.
I
How-
will.
How much further are the ogres from this thing? How much further beyond?
At this point, they're 100 feet.
100 feet beyond, even. Okay.
And how high in the air are they?
30 feet.
30 feet.
Noticing that my crossbow did nothing to them in a capacity whatsoever, I'm just going to equip a shield.
Sounds good.
I'm
Range
still
attacks.
gonna throw my little rock.
Okay.
So it would not matter.
Not matter.
I miss.
Okay. Other ranged
I'm praying.
attacks. And then no melee. Soldiers move up. The 2 ogre mages. They're going to target the friar. And again, the captain. So make a save versus spells.
All right. Save versus spell. I got a. Uh-oh. Is it below or above?
Above.
I didn't make it.
Didn't make it. So you get mind controlled. As does Captain Lockhorn.
Oh,
And
goddamn.
instantly, your animosity is turned towards your party.
Hello, brother.
And you're going to do everything in your power to attack and kill them.
Okay.
All right. Initiative.
4.
I rolled a 5. The Haragon are going to start to fly over near the boy, best that they can. They are a bit away, but they are realizing now what is happening. Movement.
And this is just magic. This isn't necessarily fairy magic, right?
Correct. That doesn't seem based on effects that have happened that it's fairy magic. So they're starting to fly towards the boy. They're maybe 90 feet away from him at this point. You guys move. You take your movement. You are the army, or I keep calling it an army. The soldiers and you all have reached the boy at this point.
Okay, question. It was a flimsy cage, right?
It's a wooden cage.
Okay. Is it possible, given how the boy is in there, to use a weapon like a sword to leverage out or break the bars of the cage or break the cage?
Yeah. So when we come to melee, you could make an attack against the cage if you want.
That's what I would do.
Okay. So movement, everybody moves forward. Ranged attacks.
I'm moving full movement I want to get
Why?
underneath the where the ogres are.
Sounds good. You will reach. Well, you reach to the boy at this point, but you're still like kind of looking in that direction. So melee.
Yes.
Yeah, let's start with that.
Mother always loved you best, brother.
And he's out of nowhere. He's just gonna bring out his mace and just go and try to swing it at Sir Geoffrey. And I'm blessed. 4 to hit.
That will miss, I imagine. Go ahead, Lillibeth. You wanted to make an attack against the cage.
I do. Oh, 14.
Okay. Yeah, you slash at the cage and break enough of the some of the limbs that are holding it. And like it's no problem to like kind of rip this open. The boy is just sleeping inside the cage.
Can I start to pull him out?
You
Or
could
is it
start.
another-
You will not have done it on this turn, but you'll be able to start doing that. Any other melee that's happening?
I'm not gonna attack my. Oh, can I grapple? Is there a grapple or something like that in this where I can just like try to subdue my brother?
Yeah, post strength checks.
Oh, let's do this. I think you're stronger than me, though.
No, I'm not.
No.
Only better looking.
17.
A 5.
Okay, managed to wrap him up and grab hold of him.
And I'll be like,
Um,
I'm gonna smack him with his own hand and be like, yourself.
I hate you. I hate you.
all right. Captain Lockhorn pulls out her mace and she just like turns to like the soldier to her left and tries to like bash them over the head. And she gets a nat 20 that kills that soldier. And you can see all the short horns are kind of like stepping back, like their spears are kind of turned to their captain, but they're fearful, some of them, realizing that their captain has been bewitched.
They do get a +1 to melee. I mean, I'm sorry, to morale. Yeah.
We're gonna have to figure something out. It's quick because these creatures are 30 feet above us. They are gonna slowly just. If we don't get out of here with this, I think we just need to get the kid and run. Honestly. Leave you behind, brother.
What?
You can see the fear in the eyes of the shorthorns. A couple of them drop their spears and are starting to turn.
Mm.
You know what? I haven't had Kezi take any shots. She would be taking some shots at the ogre.
We need to take these ogres out. How do we ground these suckers?
I think we probably had 3 rounds where she could have. One of her arrows will have landed and hit. Dealing a. She hits the same one that that Topsy had hit. Again, the arrows do not pierce its flesh, but there's like a little spark that hits, and it just looks pissed.
Arc.
A little bit of like holy light or whatever that hits it.
Mm.
But it's not, the arrow is not piercing it. So I think we resolved this initiative round. Go ahead and roll a d6. Rolled a 5. The Haragon are moving closer. They're about 40 feet away from where you are all standing right now. Yeah, it just looks like they're like hovering over and they're getting ready maybe to dive down and attack at you. Any movement from your group?
Well, if it counts as movement to drag the kid out of the cage, I'm dragging him.
Sure. You pull him out.
Does he wake up?
He's not. He's sound asleep.
Damn.
Even with and this is like chaotic, you know, there's a lot of noise happening. You're pulling him forcefully out of the cage. It seems like a unnatural sleep that he is in. Any other movement?
Having moved 20 feet or whatever beyond 20 or 30 feet or whatever beyond, I'm going to stop and draw my weapons if these things look like they're moving towards us.
Okay, sounds good.
Do they look like they're moving toward us, like down and in, or are they staying that 30 feet up above the ground?
They're still 30 feet, but they're angling themselves that it looks like they're about to descend
Just
down
move
and
down.
drop onto your group. So Thomas has moved ahead in kind of a defensive position. Geoffrey's got the Friar grappled. Where's Topsy in relation to everything?
Well, I was going to unlock the cage from the outside, but it seems that it's already busted open. I'll just
Yep.
take a defense position with Thomas.
Okay, moving up with Thomas.
Yep.
Any ranged attacks? No ranged attacks, melee attacks.
I can attack while I'm grappling my brother. Can I like closed fist punch him just without my sword? Just give him I want to see if it wakes him up out of this trance. I want to attack
Do a
him,
little
but I don't want to.
subdual damage, sure. Making an attack roll.
Something like that. 14.
Yeah, that hits.
Uh,
I just want to see if inflicting damage may wake him up.
give me a second here.
With the hopes, yeah. Please, one true God, please.
Just roll a d4.
A D4. A 4?
All right, so Isaac, track this damage differently. Take this 4 points off of your hit point maximum, but this is subdual damage. So if this dropped you to 0, it would not kill you.
You got it. Okay. I'm still up. I'm fine.
All right. And then I think opposed strength checks probably because he does not wake him up. Unfortunately,
Okay.
He's still
Yeah.
got a lot of life in him and a lot of resistance, so he can do opposed strength checks.
I was just going to say, well, I've always wanted to do that anyway. A
15.
6.
Uh-oh. 15.
You beat me. You beat me,
All
brother.
right, you just for this turn you kind of break free or whatever.
I just like...
The short horns are starting to. I think I'm just gonna do this. 7 of them turn to flee. There's like 2
Oh my
short
God.
horns that stay behind to try to deal with their captain. And they're going to be trying to hit her to do subdual as well. They don't want to kill her. 1 hits, 1 misses.
Glad we brought these guys.
Big help. Big help.
Mm.
Totally worth not being able to surprise them.
Brought them just to make a bunch of noise on our way in, and then they run away.
Yeah. In their defense, their big scary captain is trying to kill them.
That's true.
All right. She's going to retaliate against one of them and miss. And roll initiative.
3.
All right, you guys are up first. Movement.
I'm hoisting the kid over my shoulders and obviously he's dead weight. And then heading to I'm running away.
Going back into the woods.
Going back into the woods.
The two brothers are at a standstill. Oh,
She did. She ran away.
Ran away into the woods.
out of here. And Topsy and Thomas are right underneath the ogres, who are probably moments away from descending down on you.
Yep. I am readying weapon attacks for.
You are listening to 20 Sides to Every Story. What a day.
What a day, huh?
So, any ranged attacks that are happening? If not, I don't. Well, we got the melee between the two brothers. So
I'm going for a fist now.
Sounds
It's
good.
fist
Seems
fight.
fair that there should be a retaliatory fist here.
An 11.
Oh, no, you missed.
Let me hit you.
Mom needed to teach you how to fight better.
Anything from Geoffrey?
Yeah. We're brothers are fist fighting here. Now I'm gonna see if I bring him down to 0 if it frees him from the from the spell. That's a 10.
Doesn't.
Two Briggle Shorthorns trying to deal. Unless there's something else. I think I captured everything you guys are doing. They both miss. And she misses also. Ogres move down. And so there's two ogre mages in front of Thomas and Topsy. They're both going to make claw attacks against you.
Are they considered taller than humanoids?
Yes, they are big.
Okay. Okay.
Do
Excellent.
I get my like? Is there any kind of like a reaction for like readying action, or that just wait till next turn?
Just wait till next turn.
Okay.
Hiradon. Nat 20. I guess I didn't declare who this is on, so I'm going to roll for which one was it? This one is against Topsy.
I have a shield, and I no longer now have a shield.
Yes, sounds good. Just the claw comes down, splinters of wood cascade across your vision. The other one is attacking Thomas and gets a 16.
That hits.
2 points of damage.
Oof.
Roll
2,
initiative.
Here we go.
Come on. Need some shoes here.
Keeping it consistent at 3.
DM is going to use a reroll.
How dare you?
He wants to try and roll under.
We already have monsters that we do nothing to.
Oh, I rolled a 5.
Oh, nice.
People
We're
use their
happy
points.
for
They want
you.
to see me do something here.
Yeah,
They did pay money to watch you kill us.
Yes.
that is fair.
What did you get?
3.
3. Okay. So they are going to again attack, one on Topsy. A 17 to hit.
Miss.
Oh Jesus!
Miss.
Other one is against Thomas. An 18 to hit.
Hits.
2 points of damage.
Oof.
Party's turn.
I'm still running with the kid. I'm out.
Out.
Audi 9000.
Everyone is keeping their position.
I'm
Any
looking at
ranged-
Thomas. I'm looking at Thomas.
I mean, I'm gonna get an attack in.
Sounds good.
I'll stay there.
Melee. They're in melee, or
They are in melee.
okay.
You can.
I
I don't know what's going on behind me at this point, so I know the brothers are slap fighting each other, or whatever the hell they're doing.
well, I'm thinking if they're in melee attack range, I might turn my back on my brother and attack it with the hopes that if we take it down, it'll free them. So I will probably in this turn do that.
Which one do you want to move? So there's one that the one that Topsy is in conflict with had been hit a couple of times by the arrows
Mhm.
that like they aren't physically damaging them, but there's like this spark of divine light that seems to kind of pop when they're getting hit.
I'll
So
go
there's
for
that
that
one,
one.
and then there's one that Thomas is dealing with.
I'll go for the one that's on Topsy right now.
And we're gonna say like this is the one that has like all the kind of like it seems like there's like maybe maggots that are growing on her scalp just underneath the flesh. Like her hair has this uncanny like movement that is happening that shouldn't be there.
16.
16 will hit.
Nice.
And then so hang on, I've got the +2 from magic. I've got +1 from my strength, and we still have the bless.
Yep.
Yes.
So it'll be +4 onto this. That's perfect because it was only a 2, so 6.
6. All right. Now your blade actually draws blood. And she looks astonished as you connect, stumbling backwards just a bit, and like just fury lighting up her eyes, just kind of like swell with a reddish rage.
Stay away from my kitty.
Let's see, what else? Other melee.
I'm attacking the one in front of me. That is a with the +1 bless. It's a 16, so an 18
That'll hit.
and 10 points of damage.
Your sword's
And now-
magical, right?
The sword is the one from the other place. I think it. I mean, it. I don't.
The
It
silver
doesn't have
one?
a magical plus, but it
Oh,
was
it's a silver.
silvered and
Yeah.
yeah.
So yours does not cut the flesh, but you do see a little bit of that spark.
Okay.
So I think
I
you
have
guys
a-
can figure out like kind of what's happening with that, right?
Yeah, we're
this point.
done for.
Well, let's
There's
see
a
if
little
the
bit of
sword-
damage that is being applied, but
Yes. But
Perhaps a
not
sword
enough.
made of the purest iron possible, known to both Fae and humankind alike, can make a difference. I believe that this such thing can be possible. That's a 20.
Okay.
Unnatural. Just 20.
you hit.
5 points of the most pure, beautiful, dwarven crafted iron known to all of mortal kind, found in this very hellish this Fey-like landscape that was trapped us underground for 2 months,
Wielded by a little kitty.
wielded by a little meow meow.
The sharpness of the blade does not slice through the
No.
flesh,
I believe.
but that divine spark seems to irritate.
So
I'm gonna.
Joffrey's gonna start yelling like, "Hold them down! We'll kill them with my."
Yeah, what do you want from me?
Hold him down with what?
Oh, your tail?
Sorry, I forgot to apply an arrow from Kezi. An arrow from Kezi shoots at the one that Topsy is in front of. Little spark from the end of the tip.
From behind you, you'd hear, "Hold this, you idiot!" And another try to punch you in the back of the head. 10. You still some like sidestep.
And there's a +2 on there, but it doesn't seem to matter. You just
Blow
kind
like
of,
a feather, sting like a bee, brother.
Breggle are fighting. Captain Longhorn hits another one who goes down.
Damn.
So it's just her and another there. I think we roll initiative.
Yeah, but
Remind me of the rules for backing up or like leaving threat range.
Oh, if you want to
Five.
do a fighting withdrawal, you can do so. You'll move half your movement away out of melee.
5 on the call.
All right, you guys go first. Any change to the movement situation?
I'm going to fighting withdrawal because I can do nothing from this close.
Sounds good.
Geoffrey, I'm relying on you, but I'm sticking up front here to at least take some of the attacks from you. So
Well, I'm sorry.
chop away.
Let me go back to what Dawson you're asking. Are you wanting to like straight up flee?
I want to not be in melee anymore.
Just not
That's
in
my
melee.
goal.
Okay.
I'm still fighting.
You're still fighting.
Just not in melee.
Gotcha. Sounds good.
I think you declare fleeing, right?
Yeah, and then there's like a minus to your AC and things like that because you got your back turned. So it doesn't sound like that's what you want.
Is there any kind of like fighting defensively or anything to give yourself a plus to your AC? I don't think there's.
I feel
anything
like we
that.
did invent something for that once upon a time. That's probably in the shared document. I'll look it up quick.
And then I'm probably going to try to take out this one that has some hit points out first, and then come for the one that you're dealing with, Thomas. But I will not be offended if you just like cut and run. You know what I mean?
Not gonna do it, mister. If there's some kind of fighting defensively, I'll stay here and take lumps while you deal damage. So
Okay. Don't take too many lumps. Like I said, if you got to bow out, bow out.
So here are the you can parry. So if you're refrain from attacking for a turn, you get a +2 AC.
Ooh.
Okay. that would be what I would do.
Too bad.
I'll take a +2 to my AC and not worry about attacking if I'm not in really.
Okay.
You can do damage. Yeah.
I'm just a bag of hit points at this point while
You could also distract, give Sir Geoffrey +4 to hit on his first hit.
Ooh.
I'll do that.
Okay.
That actually sounds better. I'll do a feint on this one and move over and to try and distract the one that he's fighting.
Sounds good. Let's see that attack roll from Sir Geoffrey, the Sword of Chide.
Okay, so I'm trying to think. With the bless, with my strength, with the plus, I've got a +4 already, and then there's +4 from this distraction, so it'd be a +8 to attack.
Yep.
Big money.
Okay, I rolled an 8, so +8 is 16.
That hits.
Oh,
That's what you needed, actually. So.
oh, come on.
Okay, so and then I've that's just to attack, right? It's not
Correct.
to the damage.
Correct.
So okay, so I've just got the +4 from everything else on my attack roll. I rolled a 6. That'll be 10 points of damage.
Nice. All right.
Sword
Oh.
cleaves right through the chest of the witch.
Yes.
And it releases.
Of course it does.
It releases the captain.
Oh, good. I thought you were gonna say maggots or something.
I was gonna, yeah. Releases a big ball of gas. Roll.
Probably does. Like she
Roll
falls
breath weapon.
backwards. You can just see like her scalp kind of like move, walk away. But it's not a threat necessarily.
Geoffrey's gonna do some kind of, cuts, cleaves it in two, and fucking points at the next one, and be like, "You are next. You are release my breath."
Let's do the same thing.
Let's see. Any attacks unaccounted for?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can attack me.
I was gonna do a ranged attack if that mattered. That's why I backed up.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Miss.
You have any Kezi to do that as well? She misses.
You bozo. You big bozo.
I hit a 5. I go 5. I miss again. Like you're not even paying attention at this point. You know exactly.
Stop.
I've got like your hand on your forehead.
Captain Longhorn charges forward. A little bit of a moment of horrified look, but she composes herself and rallies forward. Strikes. Is going to connect and hit. Her weapon is magical.
Nice.
Good.
And Bless is on this as well, so 6 points of damage.
Ooh.
Beautiful.
The Ogre Witch will take its turn. Oh, let me give you the Shorthorn. Might be able to hit for damage. She doesn't. The Witch is going to take an attack against Thomas.
Bring it.
A 17 to hit.
Yep. Brought it.
7 points of damage.
Oh no.
Oh shit!
That's a bigger oof.
Mm.
That's like 3 of me.
Oh no.
All right, we've got another initiative roll here.
Are you still up, Thomas? Are you still alive?
I am.
Okay. All right.
The
I could
Ogre
actually
Witch is
take another hit like that, but not much
You
more.
could?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
The Ogre Witch is preparing to retreat.
Mm-mm. No, you dead. You dead, girl. You dead.
5.
All right, you guys are up first.
Nice. I'm going to distract again for Sir
Alright.
Geoffrey.
Nice.
Lillibeth is
All right.
running through the forest with the boy. Some ranged attacks are happening.
That's a crossbow.
Kezi misses.
21 for 1 point.
There's a point.
Mm.
And Sir Geoffrey swings.
All right.
Oh,
We
come
got the
on.
+8 here.
Come on.
We got a 10 + 8 is 18.
That hits.
Okay. Come on.
All right, and we got the +4 on the damage. An 8 + 4, 12.
12.
Woo!
It is
Oh.
still up,
Oh.
but Captain Longhorn.
And you have a reroll. The DM has a reroll.
Oh, okay.
No.
No, that's it. For you, for the captain.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Oh, for the captain. There we go.
You know what? I'll use
Yeah.
it for the captain.
Little do we know that he rolled a natural 20 and the miss.
Yeah, right.
Went from an 8 to a 9.
Oh.
Let's see. I don't think. Well, he has a +6 to attack, and with a bless is +1.
Mm-hmm.
So that's actually
Yeah.
a hit, right? 16
Yeah.
is the AC.
16.
So, and for a
Come on,
total
come on, come on.
of 7 points of damage, manages to lop right as it's starting to like take flight. She manages to like grab hold of its nasty, wiry hair and pull it back and
That's
just
intense.
slams the
Yes.
magical mace
Yes.
into the side of
Ah.
its skull and drops.
Booyakasha.
Wonderful.
Mm.
Wonderful.
Oh. Ouch.
I'm going to smack my brother open-handed right after that happens.
And I take a knee.
I'm sorry.
Are you awake? Oh.
Yes, I am.
All right, good. I'm glad you're back, brother. I'm glad
Yeah.
Mom didn't teach you to fight the way she taught me to fight.
Oh, ow.
Clearly, you've got dad.
Also,
I don't know about you all, but can someone look at Thomas? He ain't looking too hot.
oh.
I'm fine. I'm all right.
Liar. Is he lying? Those claw marks don't seem
I've
fine
been
to me.
better. I've been better, but I've been worse.
I will go over to Thomas. And with my hand over my
Can I
jaw.
go like this? You're not gonna hit me. You're not gonna slap me.
Well, obviously, it wouldn't matter, would it? I feel that. Just kidding. Here we go. Here's some. You get 6 points of healing.
Ooh, nice.
So you're patching things up. Captain Lockhorn is over by the felled soldiers and looking solemnly down at them. You can see she's kind of checking to see if there's any possibility that they might still be alive, but you can see she's just putting her hands like over their eyes and closing them, saying a little prayer. You can imagine that there's a heavy feeling of guilt knowing that it was her hand that did that, even if she wasn't in control of her actions. You're looking over the scene, the bodies of these two ogres are still. You can look over their camp. You'll just see these like kind of ratty tents, a mess of skulls and wicked ingredients that are jarred up, things that you would have no use for, but are probably reagents for whatever that's stewing in that cauldron in the center. And then, of course, you still hear the heavy wheezing breathing of whatever is in the pit.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Should we take a look?
Help me with this though, and I want to take like that cauldron and just tip the crap out of it. I don't know what they were
Discharges,
brewing up,
spreads,
but yeah.
absorbed into the soil.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Yeah, should we? It sounded like this creature was a fearsome thing. Should we see what the state is? We can obviously hear it. Should we see if it's caged, if it's what the deal is? Cautiously enter and check the status.
I don't think that's a bad idea.
If you want.
Who all is going?
I think I might stay for a second and give a prayer to the dead that are there.
I'll take Kezi with me and check it out cautiously.
Okay.
You want me to go?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, sure, why not?
So we got Kezi, Geoffrey, and Topsy all heading down there. So amongst the roots of the redwood tree, you start to, there's a decline, kind of this ramp down into this dark hole. When you travel probably maybe 70 feet down. And eventually the tunnel kind of widens up and you get to, at its base, this enormous, like 100-foot wide pit. And in the center of this pit is this enormous creature. Like a titan-sized creature. The body of a bull, legs of a boar, and a head that, just as described in the myth, is tusked, and it's got two large curled horns that come out of its top. And it is like laying on its side, slumbering. And from its like monstrous nostrils, you just see kind of like vaporous wisps of something kind of emanating forth and kind of starting to kind of like create like a form, like it's trying to like figure out what shape it wants to take. How does it want to manifest? About the pit, you can see that there is definitely offerings that have been brought here for this beast. Momentous hoard of thousands of gold, silver, and copper, and various objects that are scattered within. And amongst them, bones and carcasses as well. It is not a neat, clean hoard of treasure, though there's treasure. There's a bit of disgusting refuse that you'd have to sift through. But untold amount of wealth and treasure here.
At the bottom of the pit with the creature.
Yep.
Is there any kind of way? Does it look like the creature is basically stuck down there? Or does it look like the creature has a way out?
I mean, it's not so big that like the tunnel itself is big, right? Like it's what, I don't know, like 50 feet wide or so. Like the creature could move through that. It's not bigger than that, but. And I think maybe we will end the session with this image. That thing that is collecting that smoke that is coalescing. It starts to form into an image that is even more horrifying to behold than the beast itself.
Ugh. The fuck?
A strange,
The thing.
9-legged creature with a singular horn atop its head, eyeballs seemingly composed and blinking all across this nasty greasy fur all up and down its body. It's hard to tell where this thing's head occurs, as there's maws that have teeth that just seem to like open up randomly across its body.
And it's it appears corporal?
Yeah, it's like the whatever that beast was breathing has finally like coalesced into like a singular form and solidifies and becomes this. And then we'll just end on that note.
Yeah, as Geoffrey sinks into the hedges like Homer Simpson.
Yeah. It almost looks like it's got parts of like everything that it's eaten or something.
Yeah, or something.
He's enjoying a nice glass of wine, though, so that tells you a lot about his character.
Yep. Enjoys the finer things.
He's a lord.
All
Damn,
right.
that was a hairy session.
Indeed.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well, I
that was
know
intense.
we are over on time, so it won't hold us over too much longer. I think we'll close things out, but just wanted to say thank you all again for showing up and being with us. Thank you for all the re-rolls. Thank you for the cheer. I just saw that, so thank you, Kama75, for the cheer.
Yes, thank you
And
for
we
the
had a
re-roll.
follow from Luna Muffin 90. Thank you for hanging out with us. That looks like my aunt. Oh, okay. Wow. Christmas time at your house sounds
Yeah.
lovely.
Especially when Auntie wants a kiss.
Where do you start?
Pick a mouth, any mouth.
Well, thank you all. I think we're going to close things out here. We'll see if we got someone to raid. Thank you all who came over with Troll Lord Games. We appreciate
Indeed.
that. Let's go. Looks like the Jarl of Goats is doing some Fallout, so we'll go and raid them.
The Jarl of Goats.
Jarl.
All right. Thanks, everyone. We will see you next time. If you enjoyed this, please do come and join us in Discord. If you want to support everything we're doing, go and check out the Patreon. You can get access to the podcast episodes a little bit early if you do that. So, cool. See ya.
What's happening?
We suddenly started swimming. I don't know why.
Yes, Isaac did.